Hi everyone, I developed the first version of this tool called Project Batch Renamer. And the idea behind this tool is to be able to grab a particular subset of projects and add or append a name, or maybe find and replace some text in the name, or grab information like the start date, the end date, or the status, and append that to the name. So let me show you how this works. So I'm actually going to go into the inspect page. I'm going to go into console. And in here in console, I'm actually going to copy and paste this code I built in ChatGPT. Okay, I'll give you access to the code as well. So I'm going to cut and paste this code. And at some point, we'll build this into RightTool. But once I paste the code, I get this pop-up that says RightTool project name batch editor. And it gives me a couple of options. One is find and replace in project names. The second one is append or prepend to project names. And the next one is change start end date. So you have to pick one of these three. And then once you pick one of these three, you pick whether to grab it from all the projects that are shown in the screen, only the ones that are pinned, or only the ones that are unpinned. And of course, you run the filters prior to doing this if you want to do it all. And this delay option is just in case your computer is slow or fast, and the batching is working kind of quirky. You can increase that delay, but we're going to keep that blank. Let me get out of it to add some more context. So let's say, for example, I wanted to grab all of these projects that have the word project in it, and I wanted to change this from project and some other word into it, but I want to keep that number or that letter that comes afterwards, right? So what I would do is I would grab and run that script, press enter, and then I would use find and replace. And we're looking for the word project, and we're going to replace it to project in progress or something like that. Again, we're grabbing the word project and we're replacing it for project in progress, and we're doing it for all filter projects, and it'll grab the ones that actually have the word project in it. So I click on start, click OK, and then I just let it do its thing. It's actually going in there and it's replacing anything that has the word project to project in progress. Okay? So it's, for the time being, this is simply serving as a batch renaming tool, and it's going through the steps one by one and changing everything for you. When this is done, I'm going to show you that little CSV file that gets created automatically, because it creates like a backup. So just in case something gets screwed up, you're going to have a backup of what that looked like prior to you running the batch. So let's say, so it's still going. So it's going to do, I think it's 7 in total. This is completed. Okay, perfect. So it says here, completed 7 out of 7. If I close this out, I go back and look at that anytime the word project was in there, now it says project in progress. Okay, so project in progress. It's there. It didn't grab this one because project is in uppercase, but I guess that's fine. So project in progress. Okay, let's say I didn't want in progress. I wanted to see process, for example. So let's run the script again here, and then we'll do find and replace, and it wasn't progress, it was process. I'm gonna put processing, make it a little bit different. Okay, and then we'll click on start and click OK. And then we'll have it change the word progress to processing. So you get the idea, right? So the tool for now, what it does is it'll grab any name, find and replace, simple stuff. But because it takes so many clicks to click on edit, boom, boom, click on edit, change, I feel that a batch editing tool like this could be useful. Let's wait until this finishes, and I'm going to show you another sort of interesting example. And once we go into the reports, it'll make a lot of sense where maybe you're going to come up with your own kind of system in place that you're going to use for renaming your projects. Okay, that should be the last one. Perfect. It's completed. Perfect. Okay, we'll close that out. And now it says in processing. Now I'm gonna open up the CSV file here, just so you see. And this is automatically, every time you run the batch, it outputs the CSV file that has whatever the page looked like prior to you making a change. So it's just like quick snapshot of what it looked like, just in case something got screwed up, you have a backup at all times. So let's say that I want to grab 3 projects specifically. I want to grab this one. I'm going to pin them. So I'll just grab the ones I want to pin. So I'll just pin a couple of projects here. Boom and boom. Okay, so let's say that these 4 pin projects, for whatever reason, I want to add something to it. So I'm just going to run the code again. And then I'm going to prepend. So I'm going to prepend two pound signs and then a space. Okay, and then that's on purpose for whatever reason. And then I'm going to click here on pin projects only. And then I click on start. And I click OK. And then I'll only grab those 4 pin projects and add the 2 pounds next to it. I mean, to the very beginning. So here's my third one. And number 3. And then should be doing number 4 right now. Okay, perfect. So I think that did it. See if that completes. Okay, so I missed one for some reason. Okay, I gotta go back and see if I can make it a little bit better so it doesn't actually miss that. So we did that. Okay, so I'll unpin these really quick. And let's say what I want to do is for a couple that I have pinned. So I'm going to pin a couple of random ones. So let's say for the ones that I have pinned, so only for these 4 pin ones, what I want is I want the end date to be prepending the project. Okay, so I want to grab the end date information and prepend it into the project. So let's run the script again. And then we're going to say prepend, but I'm going to use one of the variables here, which is end year. So we're gonna prepend end year. Add a forward slash and a space, and then only from the ones that are pinned, and click on start and click OK. And I should edit each one, copy the end year, and prepend it to each of the projects. Just good, perfect. So we'll wait for that to finish. And we'll do one more thing. That's the last one. Okay. Good. Okay, so now look at that. Now I did that very cleanly for me. So let's say that for maybe these 4 last ones. So let me unpin these. Okay, so I like the pinning because it's like the only way to select the ones I want to do this for. I'll sort this by project name. And then we'll grab these that are here at the end, the ones that are not pinned. And then we're going to append something at the end. So let's run the script again. And let's append its status. So we're going to append at the end. We're going to append the status here. So put that in here. And then click on, and only the ones that are pinned. Click on start. So on those 4 that are pinned, it's going to grab that data that says in progress and copy that at the end. I should have put a space on it. It didn't do a space, but you get the point. I could have done a slash, hyphen, or whatever, but it's just adding it at the end. But this feature is super powerful from a renaming perspective. Now we got to think about what are the practical applications of this. Like, why in the world do I want to rename my projects in this funky ways? Well, if I'm looking at a profit and loss by project, for example, which is actually generally speaking, generally speaking, what happens is when you run a profit and loss by project or stuff like that, you almost always have to do all dates just because projects span multiple years. So when you do that, you eventually are going to end up seeing all your projects. So then it becomes a little bit difficult to pick which projects do you want to see or you want to see only. So if you were to run a filter, so if I go to filter and do a project name, okay, now with the symbols, I can put pound, Or see, not a good filtering system. Let's see. Well, okay. The search doesn't work really that well, but at least I can see them here and I can go, okay, you know what? Let me select all these ones that have the 2 pounds. I don't know why the search is working quirky, but it just, I can quickly identify them and see them in here. And then it just allows me to minimize the number of projects I'm seeing. If I have something like a sales by customer summary, similar situation, right? I'm going to use all dates because that's usually what we need to do. But I want to only pick a particular group of projects. So I'll refresh this really quick. And then we should see our projects with all of our weird nomenclatures and all these numbers that we added. So if we go to filter and we go by, let's say, client name, and then let's see if this search is going to work. Okay, this time it worked. So I put the search. So I'm going to go ahead and select these two that have a 2025 in it because that was part of the information that we brought in. So then when we do that, then it allows you to just show those. So it becomes really useful just because in many reports you can't pick any of the other attributes. A project profitability summary, for example, similar situation. If I run a report, I'm going to be seeing all my projects across the board. If I only want to see a particular subset of projects, go to customize, click on filter. Actually, in this case, I can't even filter them. But in this case, it would just be for the visuals. So it would just be for you to see those 2 pounds could have any whatever meaning for you, or that 2024, that 2025 could have a whatever meaning for you. Unfortunately, I can't filter. I can filter by the, in this case, project status. Like I can actually filter by these, and this stuff could be useful, right? Project end date and stuff for this particular report. But if I wanted that information, a certain piece of information that I just can't display on the report, having it as part of the project name could be useful. Similar with estimates versus actuals reports, that shows you all the projects, right? I could go into filter, go into project name, and then I'm gonna type in processing. If you remember, in processing, so I'll select all these that are here, filter on the in processing, right? So we only look at those. And then as I look at these reports and maybe I collapse them, I'm only looking at the ones that have the in processing text in it, right? So I think that having custom naming conventions for your customers or your projects could be really powerful, especially when in the absence of being able to filter the report for a particular subset of projects that you have. So that's why I think that running this script, okay, which let me just go back and copy that again. But running the script and having the ability to find and replace or append or maybe change start end date in batch and pick which projects you want to do it for could be really powerful. So hopefully that context helps you kind of see the vision that I have for this feature.